look who we have here now. Bobby
What
Gun.
what
Good.
it do? What it do? What it do? What it do?
I'm
Streets,
good, my brother. How?
NYC locked down. NYC
Yeah.
locked down. But we inside and outside. We have to make two moves. You know what I mean? For
Yeah. But
real.
I'll
We
tell you the funny
breaking the
thing.
rules.
You're the third person I had an interview with from New York, and all three of you guys are on the road. All three of you guys have been on
Yo,
the
I ain't
road.
gonna
You guys
front.
don't listen.
Listen, now we don't take telling. We don't let. Well, I damn sure don't follow rules good. Yo,
Yeah.
listen. Last week nobody was on the road, but this
Yeah.
week it's slowly getting more crowded because we got to get up. We got to. I'm just saying we got to hustle. All right, here.
Yeah.
If my daughter made me put this. I have a mask in the car.
Got you.
I got gloves, but I'm still
Got you.
saying I got to do road, man. I got
Yeah.
things to do.
Yeah.
I got to do road. I don't
It's
know.
the New
I don't know
York.
what to say. Yeah, man. Shit.
It's the New York way of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I know 5-0 is trying to lock cats down, but let me see if I can turn this around and show you. Let me watch this.
Okay.
There's cars out here, son.
Yeah. Okay.
This ain't like New York like a week ago. I mean, 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago, where there was thousands or hundreds of cars. But look at, man. There's traffic out here. There's
Yeah.
there's cars. I don't mind it because I can move around. I get to where I gotta go mad quick. No lie, but it's like
Yeah.
last night, yo, man, I just make my moves and we ain't out partying, but it is what it is. You gotta
How
make
is
two
it? How
flips
is it hindered? How has everything hindered your movements, both personally and professionally?
with music. Well, it's canceled every party. You
Yeah.
know, it's canceled Love and Harmony cruise. It canceled my Japan tour. I had a little European tour lined up that probably got canceled.
Yeah.
Uh, and at every party, and then our Fire Sunday party. We had a new
Yeah.
location. We've been there for about 6 weeks. It was crazy, and
Okay.
let's see what the best is. It's messed. Come on, messed up the bread. You got to have alternate hustles. You got to have alternate hustles, so every
Yeah.
hustle you can't promote. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So you just got to have
Yeah. You.
alternate hustles. You know. So yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But my daughter's 23, but my son is 11. So
Yeah.
I'm a fifth grade school teacher during the day for a
Yeah.
couple hours.
Yeah. You have to pass on that knowledge there. And talking about your son, it seems like your son bust the other night
My
in
dude,
the quarantine
yo,
class.
well, for people that never seen him before, a couple years
Yeah.
ago, he was at the Reggae Tip Show, the Hot 97 Reggae Tip Show with like 5,000 people. And 2 years ago, and Ding
Yeah.
Dong was doing Fling or Flare, one of them dances. And he just saw my son. My son's name is World, and he saw
Yeah.
him doing it on the side. And Ding Dong said, yo, who this youth? Because he wasn't standing by me. And he
Yeah.
brought him out on stage, and my dude shelled it. And the wickedest thing is, like, World is a highly functioning autistic child, you know,
Okay.
and this is his first year in mainstream classes, and he's always did pretty good academically, and he's one of the kids. But it's like parents that have children with autism know
Yeah.
that there's many different levels of autism,
Yeah.
and every child is unique in their own sense of the word, and what is normal, that's back in the day, we would have just been ignorant and said, yo, that kid is touched, man. He's touched. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe in the 60s or 70s, or even, people still say retarded or,
Yeah.
whatever. But there's the levels to it, and you just got to put the work in with the child. It could be a speech delay. It could be a
Yeah.
comprehension delay. It could be a lot of kids just have trouble focusing and so
Yeah.
forth. So, but like son has made enormous strides. He plays on the public league basketball team.
Okay.
He's in the streets. He's doing his thing. So he just love it. So I mean, overall, I just say that to all the parents that have kids, maybe that they say that have autism or are special needs. Put the work in with the child. Spend time with the child. Do the most you can with the child, because the first 10, 12 years you can't get back.
Yeah.
You can't get
Ever.
back, and the children need the attention. They need the time. Real talk. So You know, that's just my public service announcement for autism. So
All right. And that makes sense. So then how is even something like that now, being in quarantine and having so many stuff down right now, how has that affected your personal life? Having a child in your life with special needs where you're now become the full-time
well,
caregiver and the
one thing,
teacher.
no, one thing for me, I'm like me, I'm involved in my children's life. Like my
Yeah.
daughter went to school in Alabama, University of Alabama. That's
Okay.
17-hour drive. I
Mhm.
drove down to make sure she was good. I drove down to
Got
set up shop for her. So when it comes to my children, there's nothing more important in the world than my children, than maybe other than my mother or father or whatever. But my children
yeah.
come first. You know, as much as I
Yeah.
love cutting Dubplates and playing basketball or whatever, nothing as a father, as a role model, as a caretaker is more important than my children. So, you know, that's just it's just natural for me. It's something I love to do because like like that's my blood.
Yeah.
That's part of me. So I look at it like nobody could take care of them or show them the love that I can show them and discipline
Yeah.
them or regulate them or whatever I got to do. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I'm trying to see, this light is really bleaching me out. Uh, word. But
You're
it's all
different.
love. You know, I love my children. You know, it's all
Yeah.
good.
All right, let's get to the quarantine class here, 'cause I know you're on the road getting some
Yeah, I
stuff done.
parked. I pulled over. I'm in no rush.
All
Yeah, it's
right.
all
When it
good.
came to quarantine, did you get who got the call first? Was it you
I
that got
don't
it
know.
first
I don't
or
know who got
Jazzy
it.
T?
I don't know. I know Walshy and Jazzy are brethren, you know, homies.
Yeah,
So I don't know if they thought of it and then Walshy. I don't know. You know, I know Walshy, you know, pretty well. I didn't grow with him, but I know him when he moved to Brooklyn and he worked in the
yeah,
record store and so forth. You know, and I know we played dances with him when he played in Black Chinese. As well, I've
yeah,
known Jazzy T and Delano for 25 years. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So, you know, we all know each other. Like they might went to school together, so they might have a better link than
yeah.
me because I just know them from the streets and reggae. You know, but we cool.
So you knew right away who the contender was. So you knew
No, well, they
Jazzy
just
T was
said
the contender.
his son said, "You wanna, uh, you know, play against Jazzy." Now, me and Jazzy, like we thought at first it was just like a juggling, and then when I saw the flyer,
Yeah,
a verse clash,
yeah,
I just said, okay. I realized that was like I guess a couple days in advance or whatever. Then I said, okay. Well, I just told Jazzy, I said, well, this thing looks like this is what he's trying to promote it as. So we can't we got to go in. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I ain't gonna diss your mother or your daughter or them kind of things. That ain't my style.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But I'm gonna have some Batman tune, and if you cut tunes from the '90s, you're gonna have Batman, and you're gonna have
yeah,
some boy suck pussy or whatever. You know, it's gonna be in the song, but I don't
yeah.
gotta be verbally be like on some Ricky Trooper or Matto and shit, because that ain't my style. I could talk the most shit. I'm from the
Yeah,
streets, but
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I let the music do the talking, and then just have fun with it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so I just lined up some of my tunes that I felt would be appropriate for that situation.
Yeah. What was the game plan going in? What did you say? Okay, you know what? This is how I could deal with Jazzy T. What was your thoughts?
Uh, this like I know for today's Sound Clash fan, they want to hear Kill Tune.
Yeah,
So I just went through my box uh, earlier that day and just lined up some of the Badman tune. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
back in the '90s and early 2000s, when you cut tune, a lot of times you didn't really have to. Bounty Killer's lyrics were Badman lyrics.
yeah.
Kill sounded,
Automatically.
yeah. So and then when it comes to foundation, I'm a roots rock reggae lover. You know what I'm saying? I'm a rubber dub DJ, sing around the sound from the '80s. I used to
Yeah,
go to them kind
yeah,
of dance and see
yeah.
Supercat and Burrow DJ on, like,
Okay.
say, King Addies in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to them Clash. And I'm a
Yeah,
Clash fan. And I was more of a Clash fan of that era as opposed to when an MC would talk 2 minutes and play a song for 10 seconds. I'm a
got it.
little before that. That's the clashes I enjoyed. I enjoyed seeing with Danny Dreadlock selecting and Babyface for King Addies when they would
Yeah.
clash the Brooklyn Sounds would say Jack Scorpio. And Scorpio
Yeah.
would bring up General Trees and Hornsman
Okay.
and them kind of vibes. And then like I said with Nicodemus and that, da 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 that era. So a lot of people maybe don't realize, but I mean people around the world know that. Like I produced a lot of music for Nicodemus, for Burro Banton, for Sizzler Clungy, for Chronicle. I'm when it comes to Dubplates, I always voiced Foundation, Dennis
Yeah.
Brown, John Hope, Barrington Levy, so forth. I love that era, and
Yeah.
so forth, so on. And a lot of our dubs, realistically, a lot of our dubs are just juggling dubs because Massa B is more of a juggling sound because in the 90s we played hardcore dances, but when
Yeah.
I would voice a lot of dubs, sometimes I would voice them just to play in the hardcore dance, but they could juggle like a Stone Love would. You know what I'm
Got it.
saying? As
Hmm.
opposed to changing the lyrics, then you couldn't really play them weekly. And Massa B's a
Yeah.
sound that will especially is what even till this day is always booked out. Now
Yeah.
that now the times have changed and we moved with the times, adapt with the times. But back then you were playing the hardcore dances, in the dance halls in Brooklyn or Bronx. You'd have to have them hardcore tunes, but it didn't necessarily have to say killing it because it was
Yeah.
just a hardcore dance.
Yeah. Because you
You
had the
know,
dub, so I guess
yeah.
you figured going that way it was more. So you
Well,
figured you would get Jazzy T with hardcore. You hit him from the hardcore route.
well, I'm not like the auto tune DJ. A lot of them don't really know how to DJ like
Yeah.
on dancehall rhythm.
Yeah.
And uh, a lot of them dubs, when you do get them, they don't sound good because from the newer artists because they may not be in the studio where they voice the song. Therefore,
Got you.
the plugins and the effects are not on the voice,
Got
and
you.
the dub does not sound as good. So therefore, if it don't sound good, how can you play it? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Whereas then with original dancehall style, and that's just what I represent. Cartel, I got a million Cartel. I got a new song coming with Cartel. So
Yeah.
it's just like Cartel, Killer, Burro Banton. Them I'm an artist. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They even got a million Elephant Man and so forth. But then when they said verse and clash, I said, okay, the nice things got to get put to the side, and we just come with the
Yeah.
hardcore songs.
I get
And
it
that's just
from
that's
there.
just the lane. I went with it. You know what I'm saying? I had
Yeah.
fun with it. It's fun. Jazzy my homie. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's all good.
Of course, it was.
Yeah.
It was very interesting, especially to see you as the MC, because a lot of times we don't see
No,
Bobby as the MC. We see Java and
fam,
all that.
fam.
Yeah.
Master
Yeah.
B's a sound that started back in the day in Brooklyn. They was not
Yeah.
trying to hear no Yankee on the mic. You understand what I'm saying? You catch a bottle.
Yeah.
Select, motherfucker. Be glad you
Yeah.
selected. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
hardcore dances and and Jabba developed his style over the years, but I worked with Jabba as a young man, and he developed as a superstar. And then those other
Yeah.
people in sound. People don't even realize Major Hype worked on the sound for 5 years.
Of course.
And
Family.
yeah, it's my G. And we toured the world. Now I have Lando Hype, a guy living in Jersey that's from Portmore. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, believe me, I could talk shit with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? But but
Yeah.
but we're at a point now where for that kind of thing, or even in the clashes, you don't have to really have a hardcore yard accent. People want
Yeah.
like, especially the global crowd wants to hear more. Uh, what song are you going to play? And
Yeah.
if you can give it a nice
How are you gonna
intro,
make it
yeah.
connect?
If you can give it a nice little intro or have a vibes, and this is what we do, and we live. We live it. What I mean. So
Yeah.
it was fun. That's all. I
All
could
right.
I could do
So
it again and again or whatever. I'm comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? The main thing is I realize you got to really organize like your cue points.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
I get
So
that.
but it's all good, man. It's all good, man. The love,
So I
love
gotta
the
ask
love the
you guys.
music.
I gotta ask you then. What was your favorite part of the Clash?
Oh man, I don't know. I just love playing the music. I
Yeah.
mean, for me, having my son there with me, and he just loved the vibes and the energy and jumping up and down and busting his little gun and what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It was just fun vibes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when it
Mhm.
comes to tune, I mean, I just fun playing the music. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
know, I feel blessed. I mean, I've been able to voice on Dubplate or 45 or even just got to meet most of my heroes. You know what I'm saying? Like most of the people that
Yeah.
I grew up loving.
Yeah.
And not necessarily every artist you meet, you're pleased with them personally, but you have to be able to differentiate
Yeah.
the music and the person and enjoy the music. But I mean,
Yes.
generally, like a Dennis Brown and Sugar Minor, them John Holt, them Junior Reed,
Yeah.
Half Plank's one of the first artists I ever voiced in '91 on my label. Ina Kamosi used to come hang out with me. Nicodemus used to be in my project apartment all the time. I'd have white
Yeah.
rum in the fridge and bun weed, and I put an album out for Demons. So these guys were real G's, real this good
Yeah.
dudes, or are good dudes because some are alive. Bora
Yeah.
Banton's that's my G. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I said
Whenever I hear of Massive B, the first thing that comes to mind outside of Bobby and Jabba is Burabanta.
no
That's the first
Bora
name that always comes to
Bora.
mind.
He wanted the like we built a relationship
Mhm.
and like like brothers from different mothers. I used to rent the apartment from his sister in Duane Park in Kingston 20 back in the 90s, early
Okay.
2000s. Yeah. And, you know, we toured Europe, Japan, the whole nine. You know, Buru started voicing for me. And maybe whereas he was old school for Jamaica in 95, 97, 98, 2000, early 2000s, but globally,
Yeah.
he's an international artist. Now, you know, we understand Jamaica changes like the weather with the trends, but you
Yeah.
go to Italy, Germany, France, and around the world, Africa, they love World Banton.
Of
Better
course.
than them,
Yeah.
Boomer this, you know,
Big song.
all of that. And then, like, let alone, I put Borough on Grand Theft Auto 4 in 2007, you know, and a lot of my productions actually, you know, like even like Richie Spice, In the Streets Is Getting Hot.
Yeah.
Produced, that was one of my biggest songs on my label. You know what I'm saying? And I remember Chesedek.
Mhm.
Chesedek, I was voicing him before he was a Rasta man.
Okay.
I put songs out for him in '94, I think. About 4 songs out for him in that early period before he turned Rasta. His name was Chilla Rinch.
Killer
And
Rich.
Chilla
Chilla.
Rinch. And
Okay.
I went to St. Anne's, St. Anne and the Roof Studio. If you
Yeah.
remember Roof International,
Of course.
that's where I
Yeah.
met Little Hero, and I voiced
Yes.
him on dub.
Yeah.
Future Troubles, I voiced Kung Fu on dub. Hiya Hiya
Mm-hmm.
Who, and then I met Burrow said that youth there is bad, and
Yeah.
we put songs out for him. You know,
Okay.
because back then I put a lot of songs out. Probably the dancehall people made like the biggest song they would know from that era maybe in '95 was Bounty Killer Suicide or Murder, and then I remixed
Crazy.
it with J. Rue the Damager. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Crazy. Yeah.
But then I had the sick rhythm. People don't like Chronic's Daddy. I put, you know,
Yeah.
I produced,
Chronicles.
yeah, Chronicle. You know, we
Mhm.
had a couple hits. You know, and I talked to him periodically. You know, My
Mhm.
Sound is the Greatest. I put on the sick rhythm,
Yeah.
and actually I
Yeah.
changed it to My God is the Greatest. And the
Yeah.
reason why I heard the dub from Sky Juice,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it was My Sound is the Greatest. I said, wow, they just sound like Barrington Levy. Barrington Levy's my singer. He one of the first artists I voiced on dub. But you know, Barrington price expensive for 40
You know.
45. So I said, yo, let me find that youth. So I was at Junior Reed studio and I said,
Yeah.
yo, this youth there, I played the cassette. I want to voice this youth on this rhythm here, the sick rhythm. And someone
Mhm.
said, yo, that youth there in Spanish Town. Boom.
Yeah.
And we've been cool ever since. He's been to my house. He's, you know, he come to Brooklyn. I know his family. You know, I know his son, obviously Chronics. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
we're, you know, like, you know, just some real, you know, some good friends, some real good friends in the music fraternity. And if you're not the good friends, I got a good relationship with most artists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah. No,
Mister,
you
even
definitely
Mister, yo, even Mister Cross, angry and miserable. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And Bounty,
Killer.
yo,
Radley.
because after Burrow, you would have said the next master B artist in the '90s, early 2000s, you would have said Bounty Killer
For sure.
because
For sure.
Bounty always voiced for me. He might
Yeah.
stress me out back in the
Yeah.
day in Jamaica. I'd be there for the whole week, and he don't show up to the studio till the last day, right before we're leaving.
Yep.
But he would always voice the song for me and deal with business properly. You know, so
Yeah.
big up
No,
the Warlord.
definitely.
And to
Definitely.
tell you
You
the truth,
understand.
Spraga, Anthony B, Elephant Man, I'm good with all these artists, man.
Yeah.
You know, good
You
with
see
all
the
of them.
trick with it? You see the trick with it? I said, okay, today I just want to speak to you about Quarantine Clash because I want to talk to you on a private Zoom after we get off and
Oh,
we'll
okay,
record that
okay.
interview. But
All
your
right.
history is so crazy, Bobby, that it's like we only touched 5 minutes in your entire life just now. You know what I mean? And your stories are so mad.
I appreciate it. It's all love, man.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So back to this Quarantine Clash, because
Oh,
we're going to
okay.
Zoom and we're going to record a private
Okay.
interview also. So for all you guys hearing the history now, you guys got a sneak preview because this was only supposed to be quarantine, but you guys got a sneak preview
Oh
of
yeah.
what
Well,
Bobby really has.
I start rambling.
Yeah. No, it's all good. So even Quarantine Clash, what do you think something like that did for the brand Massive B?
Well, people aren't used to like maybe out like the European and the Japanese and some people may remember they always we played in all the hardcore dances. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Maybe some of the Renaissance fans might have remembered Master B and the Fully Loadeds.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
But I guess it just gave a refresher to you know to some people
mhm,
and the people that didn't know that Master
yeah,
B is a serious sound,
mhm,
has catalog and has tunes and you know I guess this gave us some more exposure. You know what I'm saying? If we wanted to
yeah,
go into more clashes or whatever, whatever. I mean, but we stay booked and Jabba's doing his thing and I'm doing my thing and I'm touring and Jabba's doing his thing. But Best of the Best and Love and Harmony Cruise, even though they got
yeah,
canceled this year. Uh, so we owe, and I'm producing a lot. Uh, we always been busy. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And it was like I said, I did it for the love, I did it for the fun, I did it to entertain. Hopefully, like it this freed up people's brain, for the day.
mhm,
Whereas took them off of the pressure of maybe not having a job or whatever, whatever. Because things are real talk. Things are serious. Not everybody can hustle in the streets,
one
and
thousand
and
percent.
and there's people out there. New York probably take the lead right now on this Corona thing. A lot of people dying, more than they're letting you know.
Yeah,
Brooklyn and Queens is hectic. They don't have enough beds. They don't have enough. They don't got no cure. They probably
okay,
need more body bags. You know what I'm saying? And if you can just give people a little bit of joy for that time, I think
yeah.
that just we should take that responsibility and have fun with it.
Yeah, no, definitely, especially somebody like you, because I know you're on the radio every Sunday.
Sunday 9 to 11 New York time. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been doing that for 15 years and stuff. So then you have your crowd over there, but now you've been introduced to a different crowd. But one thing that I hear everybody, when you go through the comments and see one song that everybody's talking about, was the last Super Cat that you played.
Yeah. Well, for people that don't know, I
Yeah,
used to be around Supercat, uh, and his manager was Robert Livingston, and they used to link me.
yeah,
And I'm surprised like they didn't know that because I played that song numerous times, I guess, but maybe more in Europe because it's not a juggling song. Uh,
yeah,
but that song got voiced 1993 or 94. I did that.
yeah,
Me and Salam Remy, who was a big hip hop producer, he was a young man at that time, and I roped him in. And
yeah,
we did the Dundada hip hop remix that was on the Wild Apache label, and I think Columbia Records Cat was signed to. And we did the
yeah.
Ghetto Red Hot remix, the hip hop remix. Now
Okay.
that was released at the same time. You can go look at the 12-inch vinyl,
Yeah.
look at the cover, you'll see my name on it. It's not no bootleg fucking thing. You know what I mean? Some of these little loose balls that are little internet, they not no in the street people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of cats, they're not street dudes. And this clash thing is, I see that with this internet, there's some real wicked people on the internet, but they real soft in real life. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So cats don't really know the hundreds, but not everybody. But what I'm saying is, ultimately, I did work for Cat.
Yeah.
And Cat voiced some dubs for me. You understand what I'm saying? And that was one of them. You know what I'm saying? And he's the wild Apache. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's that. If you listen to the voice, like
Yeah.
it's like you're in the early Bounty Killer. That song
You
that dub
understand.
voiced in 90,
Yeah.
I think 93. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it was 93 because
Yeah.
I'm thinking that the Ghetto Red Hot hip hop remix released in '93 on Columbia, and that was the
Yeah.
one that had the video in Jamaica. That video was lit, one of the baddest
Okay.
videos ever. If you never get to
Of
see that shit.
course.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? The shit is real. I don't,
Great.
I don't play no bootleg dubs and all that
Yeah.
fuckery. You know what I mean?
No, no,
You
no.
know,
We know it's nothing like that. You've been in the quarantine clash now. Who would you like to see in the quarantine clash? What are some matchups that you would like to see happen?
Bobby Konders and Radigan. No,
Ooh.
everybody. I just joking. Everybody says that. Rodigan's my G. He ain't gonna do that. But we was our promoter's been hitting me up about that one for years. But then I'm just
Yeah.
joking. But like seriously,
Did you guys ever clash before? Workplace?
No. But Roddy's my brethren, and he flew me, Jabba, and Boro over for his 25th anniversary, which was maybe 15 years ago,
Yeah.
to Germany and stuff. And me and Roddy talk all the time. You know, he supports
Yeah.
us fully. Roddy's great. Uh,
Okay.
uh, but I mean, if it was done properly, I would do it with him. Why not? It's fun
Yeah.
for the music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but like, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Foundation stuff. Uh, Quarantine Clash Foundation. Maybe like uh, a Downbeat the Ruler and Coxon or Saxon sound out of England.
Yeah.
I think that would be interesting. Big
Hmm.
Foundation sounds out of England with Downbeat the Ruler, who can play the most studio one. You know,
Yeah.
from an older perspective, and maybe for a
Yeah.
younger perspective, you know, well, I guess you could always have like from who could talk the most would be Firelinks and Matterhorn again. Uh,
Yeah. They'd have a speech clash.
yeah, I didn't really put much thought to it because you could have like it doesn't necessarily always have to be sound man. It could be cats playing 45s that are maybe personalities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, you know, all right, how about Specs the Boss and Shawnee B?
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Shawnee B out of England, but I don't know if Shawnee cuts a lot of dubs or not. I know Specs played the sound in Canada, so he might
Yeah.
use. So it may. I don't know, but big personalities. When I think of Canada radio, Specs
Yeah.
the Boss. When I'm thinking of
1000%.
England, I'm thinking of Rodigan, Shawnee B, and then maybe a Robo Ranks. And there's other people, but that's like who's from an international perspective.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if any of those happen. If you could add one thing to Quarantine Clash, what would it be?
The quality of my stream.
The quality of your stream.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
did what they told me to do, and you got to remember that that's something new to me. I never like do all that Skype type stuff.
Yeah.
I just wish my quality would have been better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like you learn, you
Yeah.
learn, and sometimes you learn after the fact. But it's better to learn than not learn.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
that aspect. I mean, musically, I think I was on point. You know what I'm saying? I wish I'd had more time. There was a bag of more tunes to play. But what
Yeah.
I did is I realized I can't play 7 songs on the taxi rhythm. I played three. I can't
Yeah.
play 10 on the Stalag. I played 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And on the Far East rhythm, I had like 8. I played
Mhm.
3, I think.
Yeah.
So there's so much more, but you got a lot of the best tunes. You got a lot of good songs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. One of my next favorite parts was when your time was supposed to be up, but you said, "Yo, fuck that, I'm going," and keep going and kept going.
I couldn't hear him though. I couldn't
Yeah.
hear Walshy. Real talk. I didn't hear him,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Fuck it, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
It ain't that serious, man. I mean, give Jazzy 5 more minutes, and I don't care. I
Yeah.
got too much songs to play. You're
Yeah.
that really, but it's cool. It's all.
Well,
Yeah.
what I like to do, I like to take some questions from the audience. So we could do a couple of that. If anybody in the audience has some questions, we'll take some and then get you out of here shortly. Sounds good?
Yeah, man. Do your thing.
All right. So if any of you guys have any questions for Bobby Konders from Massive B right now, put them in the questions. We'll be answering questions for the next couple of minutes before we get him out of here. All right. And the funny thing with it, Bobby, now that we're even
Oh,
speaking, we'll
someone said,
wait
"What
for the
about the Asian crew?" Let me tell you, I didn't see it there.
yeah,
TS Cool Boy. Yo, fam, I go to Japan all the time. Big up
yeah,
Mighty Crown. Big up Pikal, King Jam. I tour from Sapporo to Okinawa.
yeah.
I was supposed to go in April. This
Okay.
April, it got canceled. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yo, this sounds in yard too, like some sounds that people don't really know about. You got Fire Wayne on Sun City Radio, Echo One Sound,
yeah,
serious.
yeah.
Some bad sound. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Or you could have Scorpio and Downbeat Clash. I mean, not Downbeat, Scorpio and King Jammies. But you have some
Mm.
bad sound. How about Boom Boom and Hot to Rice?
Yeah.
Boom Boom
So
and Hot to
you're going,
Rice,
yeah,
or
you know what
CD
you're talking about.
or CD Fantasy for the younger youths. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? What's it, Juxi?
Yeah,
Yeah. So one of them three, that would be wicked. I mean,
yeah,
they could probably, I don't know how much dub them have, but you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That would be
Got a
dope.
question here from Trouble the Man himself. Any new youths on the song?
Well, basically, I mean, in Fire Sundays, we have a kid working with us from Konders. He was like Pop Smoke's DJ. Uh,
Okay.
uh, he's a younger, like Jamaican kid. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
the younger cats, they know all the dance song, but they hip hop the fuck out.
Yeah.
His name is Skip, and he works with us inside Fire Sundays. But basically, the core of Massabee is Chutney with Jabba, because Jabba do his thing, and then
Yeah.
but we're all the same team. Like occasionally me and Jabba work, but we're always double booked. And then
Okay.
me and Lando. Lando is more generally my hype man.
Yeah. Okay. So it's
But I don't
generally
know. I did
falling.
kind of good the other night. I don't know if I need him no more. No, 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 no.
Alright.
I ain't damn sure he got that skin out argument and all that bullshit.
Yeah. All right. Another one here is how can we get more business in reggae?
Boy, I wish the computer would have never came into business and we'd still be selling records because I'd be good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of
Don't you
people
think
lost jobs.
don't you think that streaming actually we went through the records, then when CDs came it dropped out, but now streaming is back up. Don't you think that
Let me
kind of
tell you,
brought it
from a
back a bit?
producer standpoint, you on the stream you make 0.1 cent a
Yeah.
stream,
Yeah.
and it's just it's where the business is. Because today
Yeah.
there's kids that don't know nothing about the record business. That is
Yeah.
antique to them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Got you.
Is the Pandora's the streaming sites, but that's where we are. So I'm trying to stay up to the time. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I got the younger dudes saying, "Yo, you need this, that," and I just try to campaign the thing because I got a Massive Legacy Volume 2. I wanted to have released in May, and I don't know if I'm going to now. And the only new song on the album, because it would have been classics songs from, with Junior Reed, Bounty Killer, older Cartel, and
Yeah.
Burrow and so forth. Uh, I have a new Cartel drop that I played at the end of the Quarantine Clash
Yep. Heard
on
it.
the
Wicked
dancehall rhythm. Yeah,
dancehall style.
yeah,
Yeah.
dancehall rhythm, them vibes. So you know, uh, you just gotta just try to get. I mean, because I hear there's ways of buying streams and this, that, and the other, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have the blueprint. I just try to campaign every which way I can to
Oh,
get the music out there.
sounds good. I got one more here. This is on the opposite side of the spectrum. Is it still worth it
To produce
to
vinyl,
produce vinyl? Yeah.
I think like if it's more on a foundation side, more of a reggae side, because people you have what I would say like reggae collectors and they say like the reggae nerds, the hipsters or whatever, that it's cool to have a record. But the
Yeah.
general public is not wasting their money on records. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So like when I released right before Cartel went to jail, that song by Cartel, Big Gal Easy, fuck them easy, then follow me on Twitter. I never pressed that on vinyl because
Okay.
that crowd what was that 2011 or 12, whenever before he got the week before he went to jail.
Yeah.
Uh, that crowd is not buying that on vinyl.
Got
You
you.
know what I'm saying? The people that are buying vinyl are generally more, like I said, the hipsters, the reggae collectors, and maybe more the one drop cats that are still playing vinyl, but they're not going to be
Yeah.
playing a dancehall rhythm. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Got
So
you.
I would say if it's in that lane, try to press 300 to 500 copies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I know I got to go repress some of my classics like the Richie Spice and so like maybe a Nicodemus, Susie Wong, and some of them songs
Yeah.
because I'm out of them.
Mm. Crazy. One last one here before I get you out of here. Will you send the sound out to war?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like Jabba's not really into that. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Mhm.
and I mean, we could do it if we wanted to. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we wanted to, if it made sense, and that, you know, because one thing, there's a financial aspect to that, you know, and then what kind of war, and it's the rat race to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're a sound that stayed booked out, playing in parties and dances, but you know, With the right situation, maybe. You know what I'm saying? If it, if it makes sense, and like I said, I did that the other day because it was just me. I didn't have to depend on nobody, and I know no one know the dub box like me
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I voiced most of them tune, and I just that them foundation, and that this is music I love. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I just enjoy it. You
Yeah.
know.
Crazy right there, Bobby. It's been great. As I said, I can't wait till you get in so you could test the Zoom to see if that works and get on that. Then we'll get the real history of Massive B from there. You know what I mean? So right now, leave your contacts where they could check out anything you're
Yeah,
doing.
if
They
they
could
want
check out the
to
music,
holler at
everything.
me, if you want to holler at Master B, Bobby Konders, you could go on my Instagram. It's Bobby Konders, BOBBY KONDERS. All my info's there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Email, booking number, just everything. You know what I'm saying? You could holler at us, whatever. Just give me a link, see what it do. You
All
know?
right. So you know what? There's one last good question here before I get you out of here. It's for producers. Any directions or advice for a young new producer?
Yeah, I would say because I get calls every day about this, right? And it's so easy to make music now.
Yeah.
So it is a plethora, overabundance of artists,
Yeah.
right? And because one thing I would say back in the day, you either had to have your street money or your hustling money or whatever to go in the studio, build a rhythm, voice an artist, mix the song, make the lacquer, right?
Mm.
You had to master it first, then make the lacquer, then make the stamper, then make the labels, and then press the record. It was a
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
I spent like $10,000 on a rhythm sometimes,
Yeah.
and that's just pressing the records. I wasn't even the studio time and paying the artist.
Okay.
So it's a different process now. It's become much easier, right? And the problem with a lot of today's generation is they don't sound good, right?
Yeah.
And that's not I'm not saying that in a disrespectful sense. They don't work on their craft because people want to drive through and just get it done, like McDonald's. Back in
Yeah.
the day, the artists worked around the sound. They work on the craft more so than just going in the studio, putting auto-tune on the voice and making a song. And
Yeah.
the music has become so easy to make because of the computer. I say work on your craft first. So when you come with your first song, you're still going to have growth, but where you sound okay.
Yeah.
And then even before that, while you're working on it, document it on social media. Try to get a following on social media. Believe me,
Yeah.
I'm an old dude. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Best baby father. But I'm saying, but I'm saying is,
Yeah.
and I'm not old young boy, but I'm on the gram. I learned how to use the gram better than Facebook because I didn't even
Yeah.
fuck with Facebook. But
Okay.
everything is connected with my gram, my Twitter, and get your social media up. Bring attention to yourself because real talk, even if like you can do some fuckery and get attention to yourself
Yeah.
and develop your craft, and people
Yeah.
may pay attention because there's a lot of great artists out there, but they don't. You got to learn to market yourself because look at Cardi B. Nobody
Mm.
marketed herself better than her, and she
You're right.
fucking won. And
Yeah.
now she was whack at the beginning, but she developed her skills and kept working on it and believed in herself.
Yeah.
So I'm saying believe in yourself, but find an angle. Find an angle. That's the best example, like a Cardi B. Uh, Here's another one now. Here's a guy that could DJ, looked like he was homeless, and
Yeah.
then his thing went viral, was Gully Bop.
You understand?
So work on your presentation, social media, and see if that works for you. Not that I just gotta, post 5 times a day, post 10 times a day. Be annoying. If you're a Toronto artist, be annoying to Specs the Boss. Make sure he know who you are. You know what I'm saying? I tell kids, listen to
Yeah.
me. Be annoying to Bobby Condes if you're from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Come to Fire Sundays. Just don't text me or DM me or email me a song. Nah, son. Do road. Be
Show
in the
up.
streets. Come to the
Show
club.
up.
Find out. So many rapper kids holler at me because I'm in the streets. And I
Yeah.
tell them, I say, yo, son, find out where Funk Flex is DJing. Find out where these top hip hop DJs are.
Yeah.
Drewski, DJ Enough, Rosenberg, or wherever they're DJing. K Slay. Find out where they're DJing. Get them your demo. Lean on them. See what it
Yeah.
takes for them to play your song. figure it out. But a lot of cats just want to, oh, yo, you met me one time, or fuck, Sam, I meet people every day. No diss to you,
Yeah.
but I don't remember.
You understand, Bobby. You get it. You
Well, I'm
understand.
trying to hopefully, of these people watching and listening, they understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because a lot of cats, if you just say it ain't up to the time, that the song ain't right. Oh, he's hating. Maybe that's just that person's being honest, and
yeah,
maybe he just doesn't feel your song. Not that it isn't good, but maybe that
yeah,
DJ doesn't feel it. Be able to take constructive criticism. Believe me, I've been producing 29 years.
yeah,
Most stuff you put out does not bust.
yeah,
But if you can find a lane that maybe it's playing, like, believe me, a lot of reggae songs I put out for Burro, Nicodemus, Sizzler, Anthony B, did not really get support in Jamaica, but they played in
yeah,
Europe, all around the world. Find different fucking lanes. Find
yeah.
different marketplaces. I see you, Specs. I see you, Specs. That's my G.
Party, big them up, big up everybody in the room. Will to be ill, Illmatic Specs. Everybody in the building, I see you guys. Thank you again for
Yo,
tuning
one other
into
person in
another.
Toronto I got to big up. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's my boy Power Soul Controllers.
Yes, Power.
That's my
Power is
G.
crazy. Crazy.
Power,
Big
no,
up
man,
Power.
I met Power in New York in '92,
Yeah.
back in the day when I was
All right.
around that Supercat era. And I
I'm gonna
knew
put
him,
you on to
yo,
somebody.
that's
I'm
my
gonna put
G,
you
man.
on to somebody. You need to check out DJ J online. He impressed the hell out of all of us Friday night at Specs' party. That's who you need to check out. DJ J
A dancehall
online.
DJ or hip hop?
He's Jay, come up in the comments. What are you playing? More hip hop or more dance talk? I heard him play some dubs, buddy.
Yo,
Crazy.
I
And
played
how
in
selective.
Toronto a couple months ago at a '90s dance with
Yes. Big up Marksman.
Marksman, big up
Yeah.
Marksman, but he had two
Yeah.
hip hop DJs play. They
Yeah.
were fire.
Yeah, you
They
think it's probably
they
DJ
done
Shy and Junior Menace. It's probably Smash Bros, Super Smash Bros.
yo, they did work.
Yeah,
They flattened the place, and they played
yeah.
some rock and roll shit.
Hmm.
They had them people singing that shit. I was like, yo, this is different, but yo, they did work, man, for real. So,
Yeah,
yo, music's global. It brings us together, man. It's all love, human
yeah.
race, baby, one race. That's all.
Bobby, it's been amazing. As I said, when you get in, we're going to connect on the other one and sit down and do a proper interview because you have so much history we need to cover.
There it is. All right, family. Appreciate the love. Big up all my Canada family, global, worldwide, massive B family. It's all love, yo. Be
Yeah.
safe out there.
Always love. All right. Big up Mr. Blacks, M Pro Graphics, Specs, DJ J Online, Illmatic, everybody that's in the building. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we are out.
Love. Boom.
Big up, Bobby.
This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinedmusichut.com.